Welcome to Keith and the Girl. I'm Keith Malley.
I'm Chemda.
As you know, every year I do a stand-up show. It's on my birthday, April 15th. This year, of course, no different than any other year. It's one take only. This was lucky number 13. A Future to Believe In is the title, and it is now available exclusively on iTunes. Go to keithandthegirl.com/album or go to iTunes, search for A Future to Believe In, and there you'll have it. And when you purchase it, for a mere $7.99, you will get a receipt back. You send that receipt to us. I will also send you the full video. So you'll get the full audio and full video unedited.
For less than 500 business cards.
We're going for $1, baby. We're going for number one, baby. You guys are always nice to us, and thank you ahead of time.
Now that thing ends on August 1st, so you got to get the album between now and August 1st in order to get the video for free. What we're trying to do is get you to hurry the fuck up. Just go and get it. You're going to get it anyway. Just do it now. KeithandTheGirl.com/album.
Let me introduce you to today's guest, Joanna Flamm. How are you?
Hi, I'm so good. I'm so good.
Look at this.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Because we have air conditioning?
Yeah, it's the best.
That so scares me when a comic comes in here and is like, I'm so good. What
I know.
happened?
I feel like that's maybe my thing. Like I'm trying to get a thing because you're supposed to have a thing when you're, a comedian, and I don't have one. So I was thinking maybe like being happy and well adjusted might be my thing. I don't know.
It's kind of hard though.
It is.
You picked the hardest route.
I know.
How's that going?
It's okay.
Okay.
Sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's not as good. But I mean, it's great. Always.
Stay on brand.
On brand.
Joanna, of course, was on before. She was telling us about her appearance on Anderson Cooper's daytime talk show.
It's true.
It was how do we treat people based on their looks? They said,
Yes.
okay, we're going to hire a supermodel. She's going to have problems with her car. And you.
And also me.
You'll have problems with your car. Let's just put it that way.
Yep.
And we'll see how it works out, right?
Yeah.
And it turns out people like attractive people.
So weird. There was really, I don't know why that show got canceled. There was some really important reporting happening on that show, and we just don't have anywhere to go for that now.
Joanna is the host of Just One More podcast, a fitness and nutrition podcast for normal people who want to get in better shape. She is the normal person, you would say,
am.
right?
Yep.
The every person. And the co-host is a nutritionist and personal trainer. So
Yeah,
you are getting advice.
Yes, so she's a nutrition counselor,
Okay.
which I guess is different from a nutritionist, which is the only reason I want to say it. But she's a nutrition counselor and a personal trainer. She's like what I was just joking about being my brand. That is her actual brand. Like she is so positive.
Endorphins.
Yeah,
Right?
it's like drugs. Like I look at her sometimes and I'm like, you live in a different universe than me, which is sort of the point of the show is that she knows the actual science and she's not trying to sell you anything. So we get so many conflicting ideas about what we should or should not be eating or like what we're supposed to do for exercise because people want to sell you stuff.
Well, I like this. I was listening to your last episode, and she's saying, get up early, start exercising, and Joanna says, no. So you get both sides.
Yeah. I'm like, great. I'm never going to do that. Give me something I'm going to do.
See, it's a beautiful platform to be on because what happens is there's like the perfection paralysis, right? If you don't do it 100%, like eat right and diet and never make a mistake, a lot of times, and I've fallen into this also, you eat a piece of cake earlier on in the day, let's say 4 o'clock, the rest of your day is pizza and french fries.
Right.
Because fuck it.
Totally.
But yeah, to offset that is very difficult.
And also, like, there's definitely that feeling of like, well, I've already ruined today, so I may as well ruin it extra good. And yeah, there's also this idea that you have to be, that you can't do anything you like and still be healthy, which, like, if you say it out loud, it sounds crazy. But we all say it to ourselves, like, oh, this food tastes good. It must not be good for me. And, like, there's a lot of food that's really good for you and also tastes good.
Right. French fries are a potato. That's a vegetable.
I just read, who's that magician? Penn Jillette.
Wow, Danny.
He's good.
Record time.
That magician.
He knows I hate all the other ones. I despise them. Don't get me started about David Blaine. He's a hack. So Penn Jillette lost 100 to 150 pounds by eating only potatoes.
Ew.
How's that fun? I hope the podcast is a little more exciting.
Yeah, it's not fun. And it's also like we recently talked about disordered eating, which like everyone knows what eating disorders are, right? Like you learn about in health class, like, you know, everyone has a friend who has an eating disorder. But there's this whole like
I meet him here all the time.
There's this whole middle ground that's disordered eating, which I think covers a lot of us, which is, to be healthy, like I can only eat potatoes, or like if I eat anything that's not on my like, tiny diet, then like I'm gonna explode. A lot of people with fake gluten allergies. It's
Of all the things to fake.
it would happen to me all the time when I was waiting tables. Like I had someone who ordered an ice cream sundae, and it came with whipped cream on it, and I delivered it, and she goes, "Oh, I'm allergic to whipped cream. Can you take this back?" And I was like, "I'm a waitress. I'm not an idiot. Like, what do you think ice cream is made out of? Like, you just don't like it."
If you list the ingredient that you're allergic to, I will take away all of that ingredient
Right.
from this place.
Right. She gave back a cherry.
Right.
You're safe.
I gotta say though, Penn
Yeah.
Jillette had it right, because if you're gonna eat just one food
That's a good
for
food to
150 pounds, fucking all the way with potatoes, unless we're calling pizza a food, and then I choose that.
Let's be clear. You can't fry your potatoes. You can't add sour cream. He's just eating a whole...
Well, there's no protein in potatoes though. Like
You shut your mouth.
I love potatoes, but they're part of like part of this nutritious breakfast. Like potatoes are good like in combination with other things. Like humans aren't designed to eat one thing forever.
Right, potatoes are good with like sriracha.
So good. Butter.
I mean, he must be...
Meat.
He's on stage. He must be happy losing all that weight, but you can't
course.
be happy.
Right.
And
It's not sustainable.
And and tell her, his buddy, he can't tell him this is stupid because he doesn't talk.
That's right. He's been signaling for months and it's just not getting through.
Food. Tell her that counts as talking. Okay. I saw this on Twitter. Joanna's Twitter account is at Cozy Josie. Why? Who knows? COZYJOSIE is the only thing available.
It was the early days of Twitter when I didn't realize it was going to be part of my professional life.
I see.
That's how you know who got in early.
I know.
Like-
they either have just like at their name, like at Joanna,
Right.
or it's like their AIM scream name from when they were 12.
Mr. Busty Ball 69.
Right. Yeah.
Like, oh, you got in early.
Supergirl, star.
She tweets out, just reporting abusive comments on Amy Schumer's Instagram. Normal Saturday stuff. You? What do
The
you...
worst.
So you'll...
this?
She gets it so bad. Like, I don't know if I follow her on Instagram because
Okay.
I'm a fan. And looking through her stuff.
Let me write this down. Amy, what was it?
It's Schumer. You'll hear about her soon, I'm sure. And like the last thing she needs is like me defending her. But her comments, like if anyone doesn't believe that women get harassed horribly on the internet, just look at anything Amy Schumer has ever posted. And the first thing is like the worst thing you can ever imagine being said to anyone. And I was like,
Rape, death.
all that stuff.
Destruction.
Yeah, everything. No matter
Potatoes.
what. Yeah, immediately. It has nothing to do with whatever the picture was. It's like people are just waiting there for her to post
Right.
something so they can,
Well, she's so fat.
It's really tough when every woman is fat and a bitch. It's just really, someone needs to tell them because they don't know. And how are they supposed to get skinny and less bitchy if we don't inform them as much as possible?
Do you think she ever writes back, thank you?
She favorited my tweet.
Look at that.
I mean, I'm sure it's like her social media intern, but whatever. I don't care.
Let me tell you something. If I grow into some giant monster of everybody knowing my name and you defend me, I still love you just as much.
Thank you.
Yes. So
Wait, as
start
much as if
defending-
I didn't do it?
No, just as much as if
Weren't
you were
famous.
if I was the only one, if you were my only fan.
I just want to know how much work I have to do to get you to love me. That's all I need to know.
Whatever Hamd is saying, she'll be typing it.
Great.
It'll be understandable.
Great. Perfect.
John Hinckley Jr., the person that shot at Ronald Reagan, ended up killing the press secretary that was with him at the time, will be set free. He's been staying in St. Elizabeth Hospital since 1981, and he will now be... I think when you go to shoot a president, I think that's death.
Yeah, death is very just expensive.
Yeah.
What are people buying these bullets that cost so much? I just read something that they didn't put somebody in jail because jail costs like $30,000 a year for a prisoner. I was in jail for cashing bad checks or sending out bad checks when I was a kid. There is nothing I did that cost $30,000. I'm in a room with 12 other people. Lunch is the worst cheese sandwich. There's no way I was racking up $30,000. That library, the oldest books, they were free. Mm-hmm. What is costing so much? I don't get what's costing so much.
The security guards, fuck them and their houses.
I'm being completely serious. I don't get what costs $30,000.
Well, I was going to say I'm kind of an expert on jail and prison, as you can tell by looking at me and listening to me. There are actually different levels of jail. Like there's probably one for like the 15-year-old kid who's cashing bad checks, and then like a different one for people who shot the president. And like maybe the shot the president one costs more. I would just guess. I don't know.
I think it's more like the jails are being privatized and they get to name their price as much as they want for the same price of jailing someone, and specifically a juvenile. You can put them through private school and give them opportunities. I mean, our jail system is the worst. We call it rehabilitation. There's nothing rehabilitating about it. If you feed someone angry food all day long and then make rape jokes when they go into jail.
What's angry food?
Cheese sandwiches. That's angry food. There's white bread and like government cheese going into your system. You're going to be angry. There's no one who has a diet like Penn Jillette had got to be angry on a potato diet. You just get fucking mad.
Yeah, I wouldn't trust him throwing a knife at an apple on my head.
He's going to take the knife and eat the apple because he hasn't eaten an apple.
Yeah, and when they say like jail is too expensive for one person and not the other, that's just them deciding to use that platform for their benefit for that moment.
Well, and it's like a snake eating its tail, right? The reason we have private jails is because we're jailing people for everything. So we don't have enough room for in the jails we already have. So we need to like get people to build new jails, and then the people who build the new jails want a bunch of money, and so like.
It's a great system. I think we cleared things up for you, Keith.
Yeah, did that?
I know Henda saw a new documentary. I know that much. All right, let me mention this, please. ZipRecruiter, are you hiring? Do you know where to post your job to find the best candidates? Posting your job in one place isn't enough to find quality candidates.
Duh.
If you want to find the perfect hire, you need to post your job on all the top job sites.
Maybe you're not trying to find the perfect hire. Maybe you're just trying to find more stress in your life.
With ZipRecruiter.com, though, you can find the perfect hire if you're not the latter. You can post your job to 100-plus job sites, including social media networks like Facebook and Twitter, all with a single click. Get candidates in any city or industry nationwide.
It also eliminates how much research you have to do. Is this platform worth promoting or putting my information on, where I have to go through that platform's, hoops and entries and logins and things like that? You just post it in one place and they filter it through.
One post. Just post once. Done. It's an easy-to-use interface. No more juggling emails, no calls to your office. Quickly screen candidates and hire the right person. ZipRecruiter is used by 800,000 businesses.
That's like almost a million.
And right now, listeners can post jobs at ZipRecruiter for free by going to ZipRecruiter.com/employ, EMPLOY. That's ZipRecruiter.com/employ. One more time, try it for free. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/employ. Okay. Thank you. You ever get in trouble, Joanna, for saying something on stage as a comedian?
Oh, not with audience members, but maybe with my husband.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I'm super square, so I don't generally say anything that's like, going to get me, like, I don't accidentally say racist stuff on stage because I'm, like, afraid of everything. But I will sometimes say something about my personal life, and my husband afterwards will be like, I don't know about that.
Right. Is there usually a topic that you should have known better?
Just like anything. Like he's a computer person, so like personal life is like in like a little snow globe.
That's rough because his personal life is kind of your personal life as well, right?
And has been for 14 years.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Like my entire adult existence has happened in the context of this person. Then? Well, you don't. You negotiate.
Tell him the wrong day that the show is.
Right. I'm so sorry that I lied to you blatantly when I left the house. I don't know how that happened.
The thing is you wouldn't have enjoyed the show anyway, so...
Yep. Actually, when he proposed, I thought I had said something he didn't like because we were at dinner at this, like... CSA dinner with all of our like farm share people up on the farm where we get our vegetables. No, he was like, "Can we take a walk?" like with a serious face. And I was like, oh no, like I said something trying to be cool and made him mad. And we're like walking away from the dinner and we're like walking up the hill, and then I see that the sun is setting and I was like, oh, I'm not in trouble, I'm about to get engaged. But like for me it's constantly on the line, like am I in trouble or is he really in love with me? I don't know which one.
Your brand is really going strong.
But guys, it's so good. So good.
Yeah, so it's good to scare the lady.
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, you're not in trouble. You want to get married? Like, oh, God, I was afraid it'd be something so much worse. Absolutely, whatever you said.
Right.
Right, we'll do it.
As long as we don't have to spend the next 2 hours in a fight on a farm, I'm totally on board.
What is this farm thing? I didn't really understand it.
So a CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture.
Okay.
Push up the glasses on my nose. And it's basically like a farm share. So like a group of people will put together money and they will pay a farmer at the beginning of the season that they can use to buy seeds and whatever else. And then throughout the season, everything they grow, you get like a share of what they produce.
Right.
So we have one in our neighborhood in Brooklyn that we've been a part of for like a super long time. It's a very yuppie thing to do, but it's awesome.
We don't get seeds from Monsanto, right?
That's right.
I saw a documentary too.
And it's cool. I mean, there was this article in New York Magazine recently that was about like why all food is terrible. And it was amazing how much of it I felt like I didn't have to worry about because I know where my food comes from. Not all of it, obviously, but my vegetables, I've met the people who pick them. So I know they're not being, treated terribly or paid, 2 cents a tomato or whatever. Although that might be good.
Did they
2 cents
talk?
a tomato?
Did they talk to the plants like as they? I'm sorry, Mr. Carrot, you're going to a better place.
Yeah, this isn't an apology-based farm.
They whisper to all their crops.
Yeah.
You're going to be so great. You're going to give someone vitamin D.
You're looking really tall, corn.
As I would pull out corn, I would go, shh.
Hey, corn, you're the good sugar until everyone else fucks it up.
Well, the funny thing is the people who work up there, they're like, upstate New Yorkers. Like, they're not precious Brooklynites who are like, the tomato is a goddess. They're like, this is my job and it's hard. And like, they hate nothing more than like people in Park Slope who like purslane, which is a weed. Okay. But like it's become hip to eat because it's like, it's like kale. It's like, oh, it's good for you because it has this stuff in it. And the people who are up there are like, I spend every day of my life trying not to grow purslane, and like, you people are ridiculous.
Well, they should cash in.
They are cashing in
on the weed shit.
Totally.
Oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
I read about a vegetarian burger that tastes like meat.
Don't they all say they taste like meat?
This tastes better because they spent $80 million researching it. I think I would eat that. If it took you $80 million and you're charging me 12, sure. Let's see. It's like a movie. A movie they spent $100 million. I don't think 15 is too much.
Is it healthy though?
No, it's horrible. It's glass. The $80 million project is the brainchild of Stanford biochemist Patrick Brown. He created the faux meat 5 years ago, and New Yorkers will now be able to sample his invention at Chef Cheng's Chelsea Outpost starting Wednesday. His burger is topped with lettuce, tomato, pickle, special sauce, served on a potato bun with or without cheese.
Special sauce is actually cow juice.
Yeah.
Right. It's called the Impossible Burger. And it doesn't truly achieve, says this article, beef-level taste. The patty does live up to the hype, however. It has crispy edges and is cooked medium with a pink interior. The texture is slightly more delicate than beef, but doesn't fall apart when you bite into it.
That sounds great.
Its taste is reminiscent of a Shake Shack burger with a more intense, nutty flavor.
I mean, you're just dropping names.
Right, like I could get a Shake Shack burger then for like less than my fake burger, right?
But that's the thing. If it's healthy, then that's one thing.
But they don't say it's healthy. They just said it's not made of meat.
In terms of nutrition, the patty contains more protein, less fat, fewer calories than a burger made with 80% lean meat and 20% fat. There's no cholesterol, hormones, or antibiotics.
Okay.
All right.
The burger is also a rapist. You always got to wait until the end.
I just want to know what it's made of, because you can have less of these buzzwords and then also more cancer anyway.
Mm-hmm. It's made of cancer.
Brown undertook a Manhattan Project-like campaign to create the patty, which is supposed to even smell like beef and ooze, quote, blood. using only plant ingredients. Impossible Foods is the name of the company, had plenty of cash for its culinary crusade. This is the first product from the company. They have $180 million that they got in venture capital. Bill Gates is an investor. Google tried to buy the company for $300 million. They said it was too low. We're on to big things.
Wow.
Yeah. Impossible is making a synthetic, blah, 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 blah. There's coconut oil in it, potato protein, wheat protein, xanthan gum, always good for your burgers. A little gum to hold it together nice.
I feel like I don't want to eat a food that's compared to a project that created the atom bomb. Like, I just feel like that's a bad...
I think this is for people who don't want to be vegetarians, who are kind of forced into it. There's a lot of people who need to cut red meat specifically out of their diet for, cholesterol issues or whatever, high blood pressure, things like that. So to have an alternative, sure. But I do feel like the people who volunteer to be vegetarian, like when I was vegetarian, I was like, I'm vegetarian because I don't want to eat this thing. But fuck it. Alternatives for your millions of dollars, sure.
Yeah, I'm not mad about it.
But that's not your brand.
That's true. I'm so happy about it.
The key element in the burger is a chemical compound that occurs naturally in animal muscle, known as heme, H-E-M-E.
Oh.
That makes the burger so burger-like.
That's so gross that
Yeah,
we
it's
need
really
that.
gross.
It's like, hey, y'all, there's still muscle in this. You're still going to taste like there's muscle.
Right.
It's so gross. We're so gross.
Getting back to comedians, in Canada, see, this is what they don't tell you in these other countries. They say how great their country is, the quality of life, blah, blah, blah.
How much you can bicycle ride.
Canada, free health care, free this and that. Everything's beautiful. Comedians keep getting in trouble for things they say on stage. Mike Ward is ready to take on a Quebec human rights tribunal, ruling that he must pay $35,000 to Jeremy Gabriel for making jokes that violated the rights of the child singer with disabilities. He says, even Rocky lost the first one. We're going to appeal.
$35,000? Do they think comedians make money?
The tribunal ordered Ward to pay Gabriel $25,000 in moral damages, $10,000 in punitive damages for a joke dating back to 2010. The decision also requires Ward to pay an additional $5,000 for moral damages and $2,000 for punitive damages to the mother.
I mean, my initial response is get the fuck out of here. Where did he say this? On stage one time?
Gabriel became well known in Quebec after he was flown to Rome to sing for Pope Benedict in 2008.
Oh, that's his
2006,
problem.
excuse me. He has Treacher-Collins syndrome, TCS, a genetic condition that causes disfigurement. In Ward's 2010 comedy bit, he said he was happy Gabriel, or as he called him, Petite Jeremy, was getting so much attention following the papal visit because he believed Gabriel had a terminal illness and was going to die. Ward, the comedian, thought the visit was part of a Make-A-Wish Foundation, an organization that grants wishes to children. But now, he says, quote, 5 years later and he's still not dead? Me, I defended him like an idiot and he won't die.
That's funny. Come on, that's funny.
$42,000 funny?
I mean,
I feel like in the U.S. we've already gotten past the suing, and now we just shame your career out of you on the internet, just mob mentality style. Just it happens so much faster. It's much more efficient. That's capitalism.
Yeah, usually they threaten, you should die. I wish I could kill you.
Gabriel has argued Ward's jokes about him went too far and affected his quality of life. It hurt his career and his confidence, and it led to bullying in school.
How old is the guy? Is the person who's supposed to be dead?
The kid, I guess school age, right? I can't really tell in this picture because he's disfigured.
I can't tell.
And he's wearing a suit, but it fits kind of floppy.
You're really helping.
Now I'm in America.
Yeah, careful.
Tribunal, fuck you.
All right, just so everyone knows, when Trump... Oh, God, I just said when Trump... If Trump becomes president, this is our lives.
The kid is 19. Oh, please. Trump would enjoy this. He agrees the kid's funny looking. He would have no problem. Ward immediately made jokes about the judgment Wednesday night as part of Montreal's Just for Laughs festival. Quote, one day the caller ID read, Human Rights Tribunal. When I answered, the woman said, Mr. Ward, we're calling you about one of your jokes. We think you know the one. And then he repeated the joke. This guy's got balls. Maybe you can do it if it's not in... where's Just for Laughs?
In Montreal.
Canada.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Still in Canada, right?
This is fucking ridiculous. Is this ridiculous or am I being insensitive?
It's ridiculous, but also it's just another way of trying to figure out how to deal with a problem that can that's going to exist no matter what. Like Canada's, going to sue you for $35,000. The US is going to just shame you until you can't show your face. Neither of those is a great response, but it's what we just pick our things,
But one is the legal system where you assume that adults who are more qualified than us choose, where to take action. The other one is just a mob mentality. So they have to be dealt with differently, even though they're under the same umbrella. But this is ridiculous. This is another human being's life that you're now, helping to take because they said something inappropriate.
The kid is 19 now, so he would have been 13 at the time of the joke. So he was 9 when he sang for the Pope.
So what? So I don't know. Somebody said that your kid was supposed to die. I don't know. I get that he's popular.
You do know.
Words do mean something, but shut it off. He's 9. He shouldn't be listening to this comic.
Do you remember?
But it's other people, and then he had to go to school, so I get it.
A Canadian comedian, if you remember, has been fined $15,000 by the Human Rights Tribunal. This is some tribunal. For unleashing a tirade of sexist and homophobic insults against a lesbian couple in the audience. Lorna Pardee filed a discrimination complaint against amateur comedian Guy Earl. He's like, I've been doing this for 10 years. And Zesty's restaurant owner, Salam Ismail. Poor Salam. He's like, what the fuck? After an incident at Zesty's in 2007, Earl, who was emceeing an open mic night, allegedly pointed out the table where Pardee and her partner were sitting as the, quote, the dyke table. Pardee, I wonder, how was the table dressed and stuff, Pardee says he then began to talk about her sex life in an explicit and shocking way instead of the casual way, And when she booed him, he came over to her table and, quote, loomed over her, swearing and asking her derogatory questions. She threw a glass of water at him, and later as she was leaving, she says he broke her sunglasses. He disputes all this, saying, I never said anything hurtful to them or treated them badly after I got off the stage. I didn't say the things they said I said. They harassed me out the door to my car and out into the street.
I mean, this guy's a fucking idiot, but he's just not funny. I think that you can get up and leave as an adult when you don't like the comedy, when you don't like the show, and you can get your money back, and you could never go to that place again or where he's performing, but it's not mandatory. It's not mandatory to be in that club.
It turns out that the court, Danny's telling me, upheld the decision for the dyke table guy. He did not have to pay that money.
He did have to pay?
He did have to pay the money. Oh, right. So, okay. So
that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's not fair because I sit here and say men are fucking idiots.
I don't think they can fine you if it's true. I don't know.
That's not fair. Anyone?
I don't know. It's I mean, I don't know how to feel about it because on one hand, you can get up and go. Everyone's adults. If I'm selling a product and you don't want what I'm selling, you don't have to get it. But I also get that, when you're part of a group that gets harassed all the time in a way that can feel sometimes like your life is in danger or your livelihood is in danger. You start to feel if you just leave everywhere that you're not welcome, there's nowhere left for you to go. And so at a certain point, you want to start taking space. And I don't know that this is the right answer. I mean, I definitely know that most comedians don't have an extra $15,000. So it's symbolic probably more than anything else. I don't know what the answer is, but I get why those women wanted to do something else. Cause if you just leave everywhere, it's if I bow out of every circumstance where a woman isn't necessarily super welcome, I'm going to find myself no job, not involved in government,
right. But this is, I totally get that. And
but
I have experienced it. But
I'm not saying comedians are sane. Can you picture this comedian going over to the table and then breaking their glasses? Yeah, I'm talking to you, dyke table, and I picked up your sunglasses and broke them. Fuck you.
Okay.
Anyway, I got to go up and MC again.
That becomes different because that feels threatening.
What did it even happen?
That is threatening. That it feels different when he's looming over the table.
Totally.
So I think that this is the report, and it sounds like they're not dumbing it down, but scaling it back to how scary that could have been for those two, than just these words from stage. Because lesbians can take a fucking dyke joke because they have and they will all the time. There's not, a same-sex couple that didn't get faggot or dyke thrown at them. There is, I don't know anybody that exists like that. So we can take it, but it sounds like there's an extra step there.
I wonder what would have happened if someone else in the club had said, like, had stood up for them, or like, had stood up for the kid. Like, because it seems to me like one possible result that doesn't involve in like mass shame or like these crazy fines is like we just start standing up in the moment and saying like, hey, not cool, dude. Like, I may not be at the dyke table, but like I'm gonna stand up if you're over there. Like, I'm not gonna let you intimidate these people.
Yeah, we're asking people to do that. We're asking men to stop other men from catcalling so that it's not women yelling at them.
And white people to stand up for, African Americans when they feel that, when they see, something happening with police or any of those things. That like learning how to be an advocate and like an active bystander. We talk about it with sexual assault all the time. Like, you don't want to end up at the stage where it's a question of like, should the college adjudicate it or should the police? Like, you want it to be like someone steps in so that no one gets assaulted. I don't know. This isn't funny.
I can't imagine being in a comedy club. Out of any club I've been in, and if there's no, and don't ask me how the context would come, but if there's no context to look at that must be the dyke table, the audience would turn on him.
Yeah, but the context is not.
That is, he's right. That does look like the dyke table.
Right, but it sounds like it's beyond like, you look like a stereotypical what we think. You know what I mean? It sounds like it's beyond that. And it sounds like something. It sounds like something that we're missing. Are we leaving something out that anybody else in the room could fill in that we're not? Okay, so it is this yeah?
I mean, this happened in 2007.
It does. Come up here.
Yeah, up here.
It's this tribunal to me seems a little wonky. When you have the
group advocating for these people?
This story seems to have a couple things that we're missing, but it doesn't sound like it when the comedian that picked on a physically challenged person. You know what I mean, Danny?
Well, in that instance, it was a minor, so I think that's how it changes that.
So is that a tribunal law, and he should know that if it is, but it doesn't sound like it is. It sounds very arbitrary. And I think that's what I don't like. Danny Hatch.
I was just going to say, with the dyke table guy, this happened in 2007.
Is this what we're calling it?
Well, that's the easiest way. It's a symptom. I'm not the disease. I don't think the audience would have necessarily turned on him in 2007 if he just said dyke table. Those were way different times than they are now. Now I think the audience would turn on him if he had no point besides look at the lesbians. But back then, I think there's a chance that they would have let him do that.
What do we think about this tribunal in general?
Love them, want to work for them.
Okay.
Just applied to be their intern.
They get a lot of money apparently, and they're very successful.
I mean, why not keep suing?
It's punitive damages. All right. Well, disabled kids are stupid, and I hate them all. And maple syrup rules.
On Sunday, former Harrisburg City Councilman Brad Kaplinski was arrested at the Pennsylvania Convention Center in Philadelphia after being caught on security camera stealing parking passes and food vouchers from a media logistics operation for the DNC.
Keith.
You got to kill yourself, right?
God.
I think I would kill myself. He served on the Harrisburg City Council for 8 years before running for lieutenant governor. He's charged with burglary, trespassing, theft, and receiving stolen property. But in all fairness, he took it. So it's not like he received it. You know what I mean? It's nitpicking.
The cars didn't give him their parking passes.
Right. He's due in court for a preliminary hearing August 8th, posting $10,000 bail.
Sounds like a good guy.
He used a press pass from last week's Republican National Convention to enter the convention center and steal a bunch of DNC passes.
No one's going to notice that this is a different animal.
Right. They kind of look the same.
I'll just put another tail on this elephant and they'll never guess.
He puts a little piece of black tape on the elephant's trunk.
Yeah. It just writes "not an elephant" over the top.
He's caught on security cameras. And put it together when DNC staffers noticed the passes were missing because they were numbered.
I think that somebody should go, was it worth it?
Yeah.
Let's
Yeah.
hear that answer.
I was going to be everybody's friend, giving them
I was
parking
going to have
passes.
so much parking. I love parking.
I can park sideways. I have the passes. I
can.
park sideways. I put a pass on my windshield. I put a pass on the back windshield.
I can bring my boat. I can bring my limo. Whatever I want, I can park it.
Every time he parks, he goes, validated.
Yes.
He gives parking passes out as tips.
Hey, thanks for parking my car. Here's the parking pass.
You know, they call him up like, "Hey, John, you want to come back to the convention center real quick?" Ooh, tonight's a bad night. Yeah, we'll give you a parking spot. Son of a bitch. Now, come on, you fucking retard. We have you on camera.
See, 10 years from now, you're going to be sued for saying retard.
That's what the guy said. Mm-hmm. That's what he's saying.
Is that true?
Yeah.
I was there. I heard him say it. I was parked in one of those parking spots because I got it as a gift from this guy.
Now, in Canada, you can't say that. Yeah. But we're still free.
In Canada, you don't need to park because you can float everywhere on your angel wings.
But they don't tell you. You got to be careful what you say in
true.
clubs. In Las Vegas, a group of jurors said that they couldn't fairly judge a robbery suspect because of all his Nazi tattoos.
Sure.
Yeah, please.
They're being honest.
Say you can, and then don't. Oh, fuck.
It's more like they could judge him fairly, and
Right.
like we've all judged him fairly just based on that.
He wants us to judge him like that.
Right.
Yeah.
The
He's
ju-
telling us a lot.
Yeah.
The judge ordered a makeup artist to daily cover his head, his face, and neck tattoos.
This is how you get $30,000 per prisoner, is
Right
because of
now.
all that tattoo cover up.
Do you know how much that costs?
It's Sephora, the good stuff. Tattoos include a swastika, the words "most wanted," and "baby Nazi."
How did they get a pass to do that? You know what I mean? There are a lot of criminals with neck tattoos that people can't see past. They don't have to be Nazi symbols, but a lot of people find that neck tattoos are for people who are motherfuckers, who are criminals, you
Right.
know? So are you covering theirs up? Because that should be the new norm then. You can't cover up a Nazi and not cover up, you know, a black person's tattoo that people judge harshly.
I think everyone in court should have to wear those things they put on you at the salon, like the full
bibs.
the bibs that cover just so you're just like a floating head waiting to get like.
No, but what about the tear tattoos?
That's
Just wear-
true. I was on a jury and the defendant had a teardrop tattoo, and they made him like walk up to the jury box and like show everyone his tattoo.
What? See, that is so different. Everyone should just wear a hijab and kill it.
If you are going to court and you have scary-looking tattoos, like a skull burning on your arm, it's pretty cool, but it could make the jury lean one way or the other. Add a swastika real quick.
And they'll cover it
They'll
up.
cover it all up.
It's the Nazi clause.
Right. Maybe you have scum on your fingers. Add a swastika or an SS symbol.
I think the courts doing this is racist.
Okay. What documentary is this?
I just think that you're taking a white guy and making sure that he gets the absolute best fucking way in court where he decided to have the Nazi symbol on him. That is seriously telling us shit.
So you take this KKK guy. Yes, you cover up the symbols. It's confusing the jury, but you use black makeup to cover it. And so he's got patches on his forehead and his neck of black.
Well, I was going to say just put him in his KKK robe. It'll cover everything
Yes.
up. You won't be able to see anything.
Joanna, you know everything.
We would like you to know he didn't earn the rank of Grand Wizard, but today he will be wearing.
I like that. That solves everything.
It solves everything.
Yes.
But anytime it's his turn to talk, he has to raise his hand. You know what I mean? That's how you get him. Son of a bitch.
They only know one way of raising their hands.
They really do. They do it so passionate and powerful. I have a question. In class, you could see it coming, how this guy was going to. Yeah. Can I go to the bathroom? Like real sharp.
Terry, we want to call on someone else for a second.
Ooh,
Yeah,
ooh, pick me.
Yeah, Terry, we just need to let someone else go.
Hey, Terry, we're going to learn what a right angle is today.
Yeah, can you show us what that looks like?
Everybody, raise your hand if you need. Terry, you just shout it out anytime you know the answers.
Right.
Hey, it's 90 degrees out today. What else is 90 degrees?
I spy the ceiling. I spy the fan. Terry, come on. You're just trying to look up. Stop it.
It is weird. I just saw you on camera do the raising your hand. It's weird coming from you.
I didn't even do it. The first time, I didn't even really do it.
Yeah, only we can do that.
Right.
I think you're out of this one too, Joanna. Sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
Oh, darn.
I
It doesn't fit with the brand anyway.
I told you my wife and I were at a water park, and the guy in front of us, entire back, dyed Jews, huge swastika, ridiculous. And it's a water park. There's kids everywhere. I couldn't believe it. I killed him.
You're allowed.
Right.
Yeah.
It's
Pass.
what do you
Free
call
pass.
that?
But it's so
Mercy killing.
right. It's so weird. Like this way, sir. Excuse me. Where do I get the inner tubes? Well, you got holy shit.
Yeah.
From the left bin, and then I guess put it back if you want. I don't know.
Yep. People are worried about how low your pants are.
Right. No sagging pants.
Right.
But the Nazi can come in and full
Right.
tattoos.
We wouldn't want him to feel, uncomfortable.
Right.
Let me ask you this: do we find that fucking guy $10,000 for having to look at him?
Right.
As soon as he steps in Canada, we're just luring him there.
Oh, and the word is honor killing. Thank you, Danny.
I know. Jesus. Just picture like these kids, 16-year-old kids, are like, now for this ride, can everybody swim? Holy shit!
Yeah.
Like you have to talk to. He's getting a hot dog from the hot dog stand. You have to serve him.
This is like the beginning of someone's terrible one-woman show. Where they're like, I was 16. I was working at the water park. And there he was, back full of Nazi tattoos.
And my ride was the best.
Also, are you counting on the fact that you won't run into Jews, black people, Hispanics? Like, where were you? You weren't in.
Right.
Where is nobody?
I feel like people who get, I'm just going to go out on a limb and say people who get Nazi tattoos aren't like thinking about the consequences socially.
But honey, one day you're going to want to go to a water park. They are not my things.
Terry. When you're older, it's not going to look good.
I doubt it, Mom. Zzz. The angles are going to droop.
Yeah.
I'm wearing. I want it now. I'll touch it up.
There's always like that episode of like an ER or something hospital show
Right.
related, like, oh, the Nazi came in,
Yeah.
it's a black doctor, it's like a Jewish doctor, it's any doctor.
Right.
It's a normal
Right,
person and also a Nazi.
Right. What do I do? Well, I took this oath. Die.
Yeah.
How do you not kill him?
I took an oath. The fucking hippopotamus oath. It's so stupid. Who cares? You know.
I'm so glad that you also know the hippopotamus oath
Yeah.
because I took that and it's really been part of my sort of general cheerfulness.
Oh, I prayed to a hungry, hungry hippo, and the next thing I know, I got to serve assholes. Kill him, let him die. Who cares? Not one day you're going to meet Johnny Hippocratic, and you'll be like, "Did you do the right thing?" No, I let a person that kills people die.
Right. Doesn't technically kill people. But
No.
It kills their souls. Like,
Yeah,
I
with
think
a noose, he kills their souls.
right.
He bumps people out. This
He does
Nazi.
bum people out, yes.
Listen, I'm a doctor. My job is to get rid of the bummers. This guy, not very fun. We're just gonna.
How is that not threatening?
Yeah, but it's very threatening. You have this threatening hate speech on your body, and I'm supposed to serve you. If a Nazi came into a restaurant, we would all keep acting like we forgot about the table.
People came into the restaurant all the time and were threatening. They didn't have to be Nazis. They just had to be dudes.
See?
Like, you
See?
know.
So a doctor can do it.
I'm into it. Yeah. Sign me up.
So just so we're all clear, our platform is Doctors Kill Nazis.
Yep.
And everyone wears a KKK robe in the courtroom. I just want to make sure I know what I should talk about at our convention because
Today's poll is: should doctors let Nazis die? And of course, like you have these people. They're going to think of something crazy. What if somebody was forced to have a Nazi tattoo? You quiz them real quick. You know, like what's your favorite color? And like if you say white, That's no one's favorite color. You know what I mean? Then it's like, oh, you're going to die slow.
Or you could like slip it like my doctor always asks a series of questions and like slips in one about like, are you being domestically abused? Because they want to like catch you off guard. It's gonna be like, what's your favorite color? What do you like to eat? Are you a Nazi?
Yeah, that's a good one.
How you feel about Jews?
Yep.
Big noses, right? To start.
You can't entrap them.
You can't shit.
That's going to be a problem in court.
What if you're one of the ones who have a big nose? What size nose do you think I have?
Do you think my religion has anything to do with my nose?
I'm
just taking a poll.
I'm going to show you a couple of pictures. You tell me first thing that pops in your mind. Number 1, my face. Gotcha. You're dead.
Number 2, your tattoo. Also, how many people are forced to have Nazi tattoos? I mean, maybe in some sort of like gang situation, I guess.
Or like that was your childhood and you learned a
Right.
lesson. You know how many lessons Nazis learn. But that, you could change your mind.
I don't
Why
know.
do I need to be liberal about this? Fuck you!
Thank you.
Get it covered up!
I remember-
Raise the money!
Make it into like a little Rubik's Cube.
Sure.
Yeah, Bill Gates.
Put a not sign on it.
Right. Just like a big
Make it
circle
fun.
with a line through it.
Fuck you. Fuck your whole shit.
There we go.
There I am.
Look how-
Fuck
That's going to make a
everybody.
great campaign slogan.
2016, my fuck everybody year.
One more time, come to ask around if you're missing something. You never know, right? You might be saying something bad. All right, let me mention this, please. JoannaShawFlamm.com. That's where you go.
That's
See everything
right. Hours
Joanna.
of entertainment.
To find out about her podcast, JustOneMorePodcast.com.
That actually has hours of entertainment on it.
Cozy Josie is the Twitter. You know that.
If you want to
Entertainment
see
value?
a lot of feminist tweets, follow Cozy Josie.
So don't worry about that. But she's also on Instagram at Ms. Joanna Shaw. I love how you switch it up for all of them.
I know, that's probably not good branding.
It makes it fun.
Hey.
And she is a member of Gypsy Danger. Let me explain this. Gypsy Danger is a house team at the People's Improv Theater. What does a house team mean?
So the comedy theaters in New York, at least, this is the way it works. Once you've gone through their improv training, they have basically ensemble teams that you audition and they put you on a team and then you get a weekly slot.
What if you're put on a Nazi team?
Then
Then you wonder about your use.
that's
and
right.
You ask yourself some questions.
you go to a water park and it's done.
Yeah.
But actually, Evan Kaufman, who was just on the show this week, is also a member of Gypsy Danger.
Do we like him?
He's great.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of comments about his episode of the show, but I'm going to talk to him about those in private. It's team business. I wouldn't want to air it in public.
You perform a live improvised movie every Saturday night.
That's right.
Next show is Saturday, the 30th at 8 p.m.
So true.
Can you imagine that? An improvised movie. Did you ever think you'd see the day?
It's really remarkable.
I go to the movies a lot. A lot of those seemed improvised, but I didn't know. I found out people actually rate those.
It's so weird.
It's so weird.
And the ones that they write, then people want them to be improvised.
See? No way to win in this Hollywood. All right. So anyway, that's what's going on with Joanna. Okay, marriage is okay.
It's great.
All right, good.
Shout out to Matt.
He's going to be so happy about how little I talked about it.
Oh no, that was the Joanna half. This is the Matt half. Yeah.
We were on Evan and Caitlin's podcast, The Paper Year, talking about our marriage. And
Why would he do that?
well, ahead of time, because I asked him to. Ahead of time, I was like, I'm going to let you talk. I know that I tend to be the one who talks. I'm going to let you talk.
That
and then
didn't
it's
happen.
me the whole time. He gets in like one super wise thing that makes you think like, oh, this poor guy, like really smart guy with like a big heart married to this crazy woman who won't shut up.
I did hear that, and at the end of it, he goes, "Told you."
Yeah.
That seemed a little weird.
You guys get Keith's album. It is so good.
Shucks.
It is so shucksy good. It's shucks level good. I'm serious. KeithandTheGirl.com/album. Such a fucking good time.
Thanks.
Ugh. I hate saying it's my favorite because that's not
I don't mind.
fair. It's my favorite.
All right.
KeithandTheGirl.com/album.